Tough loss today. We can't get that one back, but we can get the next one. Just got to get our minds right, learn from today, come to work tomorrow, watch the tape, see what we did well, see what we didn't do so well, correct those things so that we could turn this thing around. It's great being back out there on the field in front of home fans. Obviously, we like to win to just give them something more to cheer about, but it's unfortunate today, especially even some of the things that happened today. But it's a tough team, man. A team that just faces adversity and embraces it. And you watch, as the game continued to go on, the defense continued to fight, offensive guys continued to fight as the game went on, and things just didn't work out for us. But we still got more work to do.
Teddy, with your situation during the week, how prepared were you to get in there? How much work did you do during the week?
Man, the toughest part about this kind of situation is it's similar to last week, man, what happened with Skylar. I got an opportunity to just prepare mindset as I'm the starter this week, get all the reps in practice, and then boom, I went down first play. Skylar had to get in there and just run plays that he didn't really rep physically. He had to do a lot of mental reps. And it was the same today for me. Limited reps, but it's an offense that I know, and it was just cool just getting back out there, running around, competing, getting hit a little bit. But obviously we want to win these football games, and obviously we want to execute better, starting with me, or whoever's out there. So it was a tough situation to come into, but it was one that I was prepared for. I talked with the doctors and stuff, and different people throughout the week, and those conversations I'd rather not talk about. But I was just happy to just continue to practice this week. I was happy I got an opportunity to go in the game today, and who knows what's in store.
Did you take any snaps with the ones?
Yeah, I took a couple snaps, but what'd you say? Yeah, Thursday. I took a couple snaps.
Can you describe what it's been like for the quarterbacks as a whole? 4 straight games where the guy doesn't prepare fully as a starter.
Yeah, it's tough, man. And it's just our luck that the guy who didn't get to prepare as a starter has to go in the game and play most of the game. But man, this game, man, is so crazy, man, and it just applies to life also. You wake up one morning prepared to do one thing, and boom, something happens, and how do you adjust? And I think this team has responded well to the adversity, to the bad luck in the quarterback room, if you want to call it that. But I think the team has responded well, and the good thing about this team is they have faith in anyone who's out there, whether it's Tua, Teddy, Skylar, those guys, man, they show up to play. Hell, even if we had to put Thomas Morstead at damn quarterback, those guys would be ready to go to war. And it's a great locker room who, just give their all for this team.
How would you assess the job that Skylar did?
Skylar did a great job, man, just executing his first game. It's totally different from preseason, and for him to go out there and execute the way he did, I was very pleased with, just some of the things he was able to do, whether it was competing or completing passes, keeping plays alive, scrambling, protecting himself. It was great just to watch the young old fella go out there and have fun.
How do you feel your chemistry is building with the receiving corps? You had over 300 passing yards in this game. How do you feel about it?
Man, it could have been better. Missed a couple throws. Jalen on a crosser. The pass before the interception, before the half. If I hit Jalen in stride, who knows? He's one-on-one with the safety. He might make a miss and run. But it was a low ball on his hip, had to go to the ground. So, I want to be perfect, when I'm out there. And no one's ever played a perfect game. But, we take pride in just being accurate as a quarterback room, as a team. I take pride in being accurate, just as a quarterback. So, obviously, yeah, the numbers say whatever, but trust me, there are some things that some throws I would like to have back, some ball placement things, intentional grounding, and probably just trying to do too much. Um, so yeah, it was just cool being out there, but obviously I want to play better.
And these new rules being what they are, there was a couple times today you got hit, you bounced right back up, and it was almost as if to say, look, I'm fine. Is that in the back of quarterbacks' minds now that the spotter can see whatever, and that's it? I mean, do you have to think about that out there?
Man, your pop-up game got to be elite. You know, you get hit, you got to pop right up these days. And I've always been a guy who like takes his time getting up. Mad that I might have gotten hit, slapped the ground, frustrated, and then okay, next play. But can't do that anymore. So today, man, I was just popping up, you know, just so wouldn't happen to me again.
Teddy, when you walked off the field last week, did you feel like you could play again? And were you frustrated, angry? What were your emotions when you learned you could not go back in that game after one play?
Yeah, frustration definitely sets in when you're told you can't play again because you spend so much time preparing for that game, just being focused and ready for that moment, and then being told that you can't go back in. Yeah, you get a little frustrated, but you know, obviously, man, you know, the league is just trying to protect us, you know, and I respect it. Just being a guy who's had multiple concussions and things like that, so I understand, their viewpoint, but the competitive nature in me is like, man, I'm good. Let me get out there. But you know, I respect that they care about our safety.
You know Dalvin, right, from being
Yeah.
what were you thinking as he ran for that touchdown?
I was hoping he tripped. Yeah, I was hoping he tripped over the turf or the grass. You know, he's a little bow-legged or paratoed or whatever, and sometimes when he runs, he trips. So I was hoping he had one of those moments where he tripped and our defense get a stop. But you know, hats off to the Vikings, man. They're a great team. They've been playing some good football, offensively, defensively, and we came up short today.
Final question?
Teddy, do you talk at all to Jalen because of the football? It's something that's going to happen to every player, but you have seen it all in the league. Do you go and talk to him? He's still a young player.
Yeah, you definitely just go tell them it's gonna be all right. But man, these guys here, they're wired different in a good way. You know, like they're so competitive, man, and you know, they want to perfect every play, every rep, and it's fun to see that. You know, these young guys like Jalen, where every play you're getting 1,000% from him. So when he fumbles on a play like that, yeah, you're mad, you know, because of when it happened, when it occurred in the game. But man, if you look at it, he caught the ball, he ran, you know, made a guy miss, and just the guy made a great play getting the ball out. But he was straining, and we always talk about straining, and he was straining, you know, just to try to get to the end zone. Like these guys, man, they strain so much. You know, every time the ball is in their hand, they're trying to just maximize every play, every rep, and I just love it. So, man, we'll look at it like, oh man, we can't fumble in that situation, but you know, I'm just happy to see that strain in him.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, who's got it?
So like you look at the stat sheet, you guys have winning numbers, yardage and plays and all that stuff. How do you look at this game?
It's disappointing. Guys put a lot into this game. I was very happy with our preparation during the week, and so, I thought we took a step forward in that way. I think the direct result was you saw a team ready to play in the first half. Now I have to look at the tape. I don't want to jump to complete conclusions and be result-oriented, but we were all there and knew it was the flag fest. So, when I watched the film, I'm anticipating people or players potentially doing too much. And which is common, very common thing, when you lose a couple games in a row, you start to press. So I was very, very happy with the way we prepared. I think guys were ready to play. And then a lot of stuff happened, which is the nature of football. So then I also look at the end of the game where we took a step forward in our resolve and how guys tried to finish the game when, it's a very, very frustrating process when you feel like you're ready to play and you don't get the direct results. So I see it as, it hurts. It hurts the locker room. It hurts a lot of people. But it's also, it can be a step in the direction we want to go if we use it appropriately. So it's I was surprised. I think we've been, last week we were up in the numbers and penalties. We'd started the season off pretty good in that regard, and they kind of piled up, definitely hurt us. Turnovers hurt us. And, overall, the tightness of the ship, which, that's what the head coach is there for. So you take that square in the eyes, and you let the guys know that you're going to bring a better effort next week.
Mike, how tough is it when for the third straight week, the quarterback who prepared most with the ones is out of the game, in all three cases for you? How tough is that on the quarterback coming in? How tough is that on the offense? And just for, things to smoothly run?
Yeah, all of it, I guess, is, you can look at it as difficult. You can look at it as a reason for X, Y, or Z. I challenge the guys not to. We have a lot of faith in all the players that we have on this team, and the quarterbacks that we've been working with since last April. Any one of them, we have high expectations to go, execute and succeed. Now, of course, it's not ideal. You want the guys that get all the reps during the week to play, but you always know that that's a possibility. I think I'm going to demand that the team does not point at that to be a reason for what's happened or reason for the loss. I think that's the easy thing to do. I think that's the path of least resistance. And generally, the path of least resistance doesn't lend the results that ambitious, convicted, all-in players, team, organization want. So, there's always difficulties and adversity within NFL football games. I thought we had the capability to overcome that, and we didn't.
We saw Skylar go out with the thumb injury and came back on the sideline with Teddy stayed in the game. Was Skylar able to come back into the game and play, or do you expect that decision?
No, he wouldn't have been physically capable to come back in. So it was not any indication or decision based upon his play, I would have definitely stayed with him had he been able to proceed, but he was not.
What's the status of his thumb?
You know, it's a little early to tell. I know he was the biggest issue was that he wouldn't have been able to. He didn't have any strength holding the ball, so which is an issue when you're trying to throw it. So he, you know, I'll have to get a lot more information tomorrow. You don't know with those type of things. I literally have no idea if it's anything that's going to be an issue for a while or if it's something that will heal pretty quick. We'll see it. We'll get more information on Monday.
Mike, you mentioned last week that part of the reason why Skyler had a tough time was not taking the starter reps and not working with the first team. How much of a problem was that today for Teddy, having just cleared concussion protocol on Saturday?
I think the obvious answer is that it does make it more difficult. But I don't think Teddy nor any, my expectation, I know Teddy won't, and my expectation for the team is that you don't take that easy out, that you don't say, well, shoot, man, it's hard for us. It's hard for everybody. So definitely not the ideal set of circumstances. You don't, it is unique to my NFL career with regard to the things that have happened probably in the last 3 weeks. Does that mean that because of that, we're unable to win the football game? It does not. And I think the tape will be obvious to all the players. The hard part is when you invest. Like I said, I was really pumped about the work week we had, and you don't get the desired results. So you get to find out a lot about who you're working with. And by every indication that I've had since I've been in the building, I don't have anything to worry about how players are, how the organization, how staff, how the coaching staff, how people are going to respond. But we will find out. It's the great thing about the game of football. It checks you. There's nowhere to hide, and you work really hard, and as a team, we fall short. It's one of my favorite things about football is that it's not for everybody, and this is difficult. But so we've had 3 games in a row where we've finished a game with a different quarterback than we started with, and I don't think anybody has the mindset that, well, that's the reason why we're losing. We're fully capable of winning this game. I think that's obvious to everybody, and so it's a simple formula. You look at the tape, you don't hide from it, and then you move forward and try to use the learning experience to get better in the middle stretch of the season, pushing forward to the end.
Were Toronto or Austin close at all to playing today?
Yeah, they were, and they've really done everything in their power. It's one really cool thing that I've learned about both of those 2 players is how much they love to play the game, and this was a circumstance where we came to a decision with both of them that it was in their best interest not to try to push through, to go ahead and go with the guys that we went with, which our team was confident in.
Defense did force a lot of 3-and-outs, but no takeaways again. Losing the turnover battle 3-0, obviously difficult to win a game that way. Your assessment of what could be done better?
No, I think as a team, we need to play better complementary football. We really do, and utilize momentum. I think the defense took a step in the right direction for sure this week, but the number one indicator in winning wins and losses has been and forever always will be turnovers. So when you're -3, you got to be pretty epic in other ways to try to come out on top. And we just didn't have that really in our game this week. We got to continue to stress it because, it happens to a lot of teams. Almost every team during a season, you go through a lull of turnovers, whether it's getting them or giving them up. And, sometimes it snowballs into 2-3 games. But what you don't do is deviate from the points of emphasis just because you haven't gotten the results. You keep trying new things. I'll be, doing my best with the coaching staff to try to problem solve that. But, if you're trying to win more than you lose in this league, you better be on the plus side, and that's just a fact. I don't really. There's it would be a little too early to say. I know Nick was in pain. It felt real, but they gotta. I'm not quite sure if it was the way it was either a higher ankle or Achilles. I know that just by being on the field with him, and I haven't. He'll get updated on that. Or I'll get you guys an update on him specifically tomorrow. And Keon, believe it was a knee, and that definitely needs some more information before I'm comfortable speaking on that one. Jalen, he went back into the game. Level of concern. It's one of those things that I've learned about Jalen, that if there's a will, there's a way. He is a tough kid, a real tough kid, he really didn't give anyone an option whether or not to be in there at the end. He was pretty hard on himself, and with that last fumble. So I'm not, if he is, I'm not terribly concerned, because if it's a legit, maybe AC joint, which my non-medical expertise would have guessed, I don't really have information on that yet. But regardless of whatever it is, I know he'll be back sooner than later, and we have plenty of players on this football team that if he is gone for a week or two, there'll be no batting of an eye in confidence. Those aren't the things that are keeping us from where we're trying to go. It's stuff that we can figure out within ourselves, and that's all I'm going to be focusing on.
What was the risk reward that went into thinking of going for points
At the end of the first half, the thinking really is a lot of stuff that when I'm making those decisions, it's based upon the whole team and where we're at. And there's been some stuff that, whether it's true or not true, it feels on the field when you're getting a slew of penalties. It feels like it's out of your control. It always is in your control, but it feels, and knowing how the defense was playing, I think it was, we had the opportunity to get the ball back after halftime. So I saw it as a time that would really benefit the whole team if we could go get those points. Always do that based upon what's the best for the team, fully knowing that it is result-based, great calls if it works, and terrible calls if it doesn't. But I think at that point in the game, it would have best served us to have a little momentum going into halftime, and I'll always make the decision if that's the case.
Cool?